Hey, the new episode's ready. I'll be there in 10 minutes. The new episode.
Great, let me see the thumb drive.
That's right.
Where is it?
It was here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, welcome back to the Tech Junkies. This is episode 3. We're back after about a year hiatus and we're ready to kick things off.
Yep, we got all this great stuff that makes for a good episode. Soldering irons, Dremels, cantennas, and even some TTJ cola. So here we go. We'll show you first how what a cantenna is and how to make one. Let's do it.
Cool.
Alright, so here we are. I'm in the process of making this cantenna, and it's for trying to get better reception over Wi-Fi. And later on we'll show you some range testing we do with it. But right now I wanted to show you how to make one. What we've got here is a coffee can. It's 6 inches in diameter, as you can see. It works pretty good in our experience. On the website you see below, it shows you where to put in the calculations for how to calculate where this hole is supposed to go. And what you've got to do, or what we're trying to do, is we're going to take our wireless card, hook up the pigtail to it, which you may need to buy this pigtail as well. This is going to connect to our female connector, which will be connected inside the can, and we have to solder on a small antenna there. And it's supposed to help get better reception, so I just wanted to show you how to make one. We've put in that our can is 6 inches in diameter on the website, and that tells us that our hole is supposed to be 1 3/8 inches up from the bottom, which in this case, this is where I have it. The next step is to solder on your antenna, which in this case what we've used is a small piece of Romex wire, which is the standard household wiring, and we've just cut off a piece of that, and we're just going to solder this on. Okay, so we've got our antenna soldered on to our connector there. The next thing we have to do is hot glue it to our can. We're going to do this by putting the connector inside the can first. Once we got it in, that looks pretty good. We're just going to hot glue it in place. Got my hot glue gun warmed up. And really, all that's left is just to plug in the pigtail. Now we can use our pigtail with our PCMCIA wireless card, point our cantenna at our favorite access point or router, and get way better connection.
Alright, so now that we've got our cantenna finished, we're going to do another cool project. This is from freeantennas.com, and basically this is just a template for, basically it's a parabolic reflector that we're going to build. You're going to need a file folder or something thick. You can even do this with just printer paper if you really want to, but having a file folder like this is really going to make things better. Then we're going to use aluminum foil as our reflector and get a few things like glue, scissors, and tape just to finish it off. So we're going to start out by cutting out the template here. Okay, so we've got our 2 pieces from the template cut out, and basically this is going to be what is basically bent into our reflector, and this is what we're going to stick in here. It's pretty much tab A, tab into slot B type stuff. So we're basically going to stick these tabs in here, and this is going to get bent into the shape that we need. So next, we're going to want to glue these to our file folder.
Here we do it. put almost glue all over your hands. You're like rub them together.
No, I can't say I've ever done that.
Awesome. Then you let it dry, and you peel it off, and you can see your fingerprints and everything. It's awesome.
Alright, so now that we've got this glued on, we're basically going to cut this out, and we're going to take a piece of aluminum foil that's just big enough for this. And we're going to glue this on the back of the file folder back here, and that's going to act as our reflector of the wireless signal. So let's cut this out. Okay, so what you should have here is your reflector, file folder sandwiched in between there, and aluminum foil on the back. This, all you need is your template on the front and your file folder on the back. So I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife because it's the easiest way to do this. And basically we're just going to cut along these slots here. And now you have some slots in here that these tabs will go into. Basically, what we're going to do is just stick all these tabs in here and we'll put it together. Okay, and basically this is our reflector. Now all you need to do is cut out these X's right here, and this will go right onto the antenna of your wireless router, and then you can simply aim it, as this is a directional antenna, and you just aim this at wherever you want to send the signal to, whether it's the far corner of your house or, you know, across an open field, which we'll be testing later, and you should get much better signal. But we're about to test that. Let's go find out if these really do anything. Alright, so we've got our antennas set up here on our router, and basically all you need to do is stick this right over the top of the antenna, and now you can aim this anywhere you want and send the signal there, amplify it, and that should help your signal strength. Okay, so we've got our wireless reflector on the router back there, and we're analyzing the signal here, and we're actually getting pretty good boost in the signal. We're getting approximately 79 to 80 dB on average. So this has proven that our antennas do work even inside pretty well.
So we've got our antenna made.
And our reflector.
Now we're going to head out to the park and see what kind of range testing we can do.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Alright, so we've arrived at the park and we're going to test to see the distances of different antennas for Wi-Fi. And we've made a couple homemade projects. We're going to see if they can boost the signal or help the reception. So let's go set up.
Okay, so we're here at our local park, and down here we've got Optima battery charged up. What we're going to do is we're going to connect our power inverter directly to our battery, and we're going to run our off-the-shelf Linksys router off of this battery using the inverter. And basically we're going to get some laptops out there as far as we can and see what kind of range we can pull off. And basically what we've got to test is these little homemade antennas that we showed you how to make earlier. And these are from freeantennas.com once again. So if you want to make one of these, they're very simple to make, and we're going to see if they're effective or not. We've also got our homemade antenna here. We've got an Orinoco Gold card, which we're going to plug into the laptop, pigtail, and we're going to see what kind of range we can get with this stuff. So let's do it.
Well, that didn't work. We're not quite sure why. We're going to take it back, and I'm thinking possibly it has something to do with powering the router off the inverter. So we're going to take it back and try the exact same setup, but plug it into the wall with an extension cord and see what happens. So back to the house. Alright, so we're back here at the park again, day 2. We've got the problem with the router fixed. It was a problem with the SSID. We forgot to turn it on, so it would broadcast the name. That's why we couldn't pick it up. So we've got the problem fixed. We're going to set up here again and see how far we can get these tests to work.
So this is 50 paces away. Going to try and pick up a signal right over there. Our basic test was to see what kind of signal levels we would get at 50, 100, 150, and 300 paces. This current test we're doing here is at 50 paces, but we went all the way up to 300, which is a pretty good distance. So you can see on our first results here that on the ground the signal is much lower than when we had the access point and the computer in the air. Okay, that's approximately 100 paces to Ben's wireless router right over there. See if I can get a close-up on that. So at 50 and 100 paces, the Cantenna showed almost no gain in signal here, as you can see. There's a slight gain by using the Cantenna, but in general, it was almost exactly the same as the baseline. Okay, so that's 150 paces. Even just using the range extenders by themselves proved to be a big help, which, remember, is just a piece of aluminum foil. Okay, so at 300 paces with the Cantenna and the range extenders on the router, we're getting an average of 30 dB with peaks up to 45 dB. So it's looking pretty good. Our final test was using the Cantenna and the range extenders together at 50, 100, and 300 paces, which showed a significant boost from our baseline and proves that basically just using some household materials you can build some pretty good antennas. So as you can see, this is 10x zoom on the camera. That's Ben all the way back there. And just to give you a little perspective, I'm all the way back here with the laptop and the Cantenna. So we got some good results. Let's go back and finish this up.
Right, TTJ Cola. There's nothing better to drink after a good episode recording.
Exactly. That's why we only drink TTJ Cola.
Not only any TTJ Cola, expired TTJ Cola. That's even better. This is going to be so gross. How is it?
It's okay.
I didn't drink it. Anyway. That's episode 3 for you. We hope you liked it. We've got more stuff coming up in episode 4.
More Wi-Fi stuff, more cool hacks, and more destruction on the way. We'll see you guys next time.
TTJ Cola. We wanted to show you an update of how Control Our Junk is doing. Somebody looks like they were trying to pick up the car with the claw. That's always fun. We've decided to put the TTJ Cola can in Control Our Junk as well, so now you can try knocking that over whenever you want. And if you've got any other suggestions for Control Our Junk, make sure to email us. We'll see you next time. Welcome to the Tech Junkies, episode number 3.
I was supposed to say something.
Yes, you were. Cool. Alright, so we've got our Cantenna made him. What did I just say? Yep.
What was that?
I don't know, it's a new word.
Flat field and testing out like we did. So coming up next, we have nothing. What is this the end?
Control Our Junk. Always expanding to something new. That sounded dumb. Let me do it again.
And now the musical style is different.